Yeah, we're gonna start here in about 20 seconds. Uh, I don't really know what to say. Just, this is my radio show. If you want to listen, go right on ahead. It's on Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 10 Central Time. What is going on? Oh crap! I'm a stupid. I always do this. I don't know why. I don't connect to. Hello. Oh jeez, I am so weird. This is me, being me. Welcome to the show. This is Josh with the poems, and you're listening to Tower Radio Conway, and it is Woke Wednesday. And the topic for tonight is Relient K. So, if you want to follow me on anything, that is Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Tumblr, Twitter, WordPress, and YouTube. Like and subscribe, and whatever, follow, friend, all that social language. It is Lazy Mumbler without a space. And just, yeah, it's just plain and simple, all those formats. It's like, oh, yes, perfect pair. And on Spotify, you go to Spotify and you type in Josh Burns, and it should be a picture of me with my girlfriend. Yeah. That's pretty cool. I'm wearing a sweater she made me. It has a big J on it. So just look up Josh Burns. That is with the space. Haha. And I do the shoutouts. I do all the shoutouts. And in fact, speaking of shoutouts, I have shoutouts for people. Yay. Shout out to my friend Bailey, because she told me to. She was like, shout me out. I'm like, oh, okay. And my girlfriend Chris, she has all the art stuff over on Instagram. So go over to there and type in phantom.avondale. If you don't know how to spell Avondale, it's Avendale. Phantom.avondale. Yes. And this guy, he doesn't have anything uploaded to a page, but his name's Alejandro, and he's quite skilled. Yes. So, sorry. Yeah, so those are shoutouts, and that's basically the beginning of the show. Moving on to the meaty part of the show. Basically, I just have 2 songs, and the reason is because, well, both of them, they're kind of significant to me. One, I have always loved, and I think I always will love, and I'll do that one at the very end, and I will probably waste a lot of time, but that's okay. So, this next song comes off of, originally it was on some EP they came out with way back when. I have no idea what the EP is called, but it is on their album. I don't want to say album, but it's on the Bird and B-Sides. And it's just the Bird and B-Sides. What they are is a collection of B-Sides and EPs that Relient K, they pretty much just put all these songs together in acoustic versions of songs that they covered of their own songs, and They have two versions of this song that I'm about to go into, and the version that I'm going into is the demo version, which is the B-side version, as opposed to the A-side version that everyone would know. So it's called Jefferson Airplane. If it hurts, kiss it better. You wear skirts, I write nice letters. Never said nothing with flowers, though we always talk for hours. And I know it gets much colder when I cry on my own shoulder. But we know the show will go on. Guess I know, I guess I'll throw on some Jefferson Airplane. So, first verse, I really like it. It's you wear skirts, I write nice letters. Never said nothing with flowers, though we always talk for hours, which, oh my goodness, that happens all the time, I feel like. Because when you say something with flowers, it gives a certain significance. But if you just always talk as friends, and over time you start developing all these weird interests in this person, I don't know where I'm going with this, but that feeling just sucks. But I know it gets much colder when I cry on my own shoulder. And then going into the chorus. Guess I'll throw on some Jefferson Airplane. I'm trapped and I am enclosed, but I won't complain. I'll open all the windows. Jefferson Airplane. I'm trapped and I'm enclosed, but I won't complain. I'll open all the windows. 'Cause when it's colder, I'll feel much better. When I cry on my own shoulder, I'll just throw on a sweater and go. And I'll go where the weather's nice and warm. And I'll go to where I am reborn. And I'll go 'cause in my dreams I can't complain. And I'll go on my Jefferson Airplane. So, it's just a simple coping mechanism that Thiessen has, or Hoops. It's probably Thiessen. He writes most of stuff. Guess I'll throw on. You know the show must go on. Guess I know. I guess I'll throw on. So I always thought he said, yes, I know. I guess I'll throw on. But it doesn't matter. So I'm trying to think what he's trying to convey. I just like it for the vibe it gives off, honestly. And instrument wise, and the lyrics are just like an added bonus for me personally. So with that being said, I haven't really looked at the lyrics until now, but I've liked a lot of lyrics in this song. I just haven't bothered to pick it apart, just being honest. So yeah, it's kind of a chill song, and especially this version. If you listen to the regular version, it's not so much chill, like it's not quiet. It's kind of has a pep to it. Good grief, I just said that. Okay, moving on. You make calls, I'll cover my ears. Niagara Falls still flows on New Year's. I will slave your plunging necklines, kiss your face, you try to deck mine. If I behave, it's gonna cost him. Skip the rave in downtown Boston. Boston. We all know the show will go on. Guess I know, I guess I'll throw on. So, you make calls, I'll cover my ears. So, he's cold. Covers his ears. Niagara Falls still flows on New Year's. So, I guess I've never really thought about it. I'll save your plunging necklines, kiss your face, you try to deck mine. Ugh. So, friend zone, I don't mean that in a bad way, just, yeah. You try to kiss your face, you try to deck mine. Yeah. If I behave, it's going to cost him. Skip the rave downtown Boston. And then chorus. I'm not going to reread it or anything, but Jefferson Airplane, I'm trapped and I am enclosed, but I won't complain, I'll open all the windows. Because when it's colder, I feel much better when I cry on my own shoulder. Just throw on a sweater and go, and I'll go where the weather's nice and warm, and I'll go where I sense I am reborn. Okay, sorry, I didn't say this last time in the last chorus, but a lot of the times, or actually, Jesus himself said this, you must be born again, when he's talking to someone, and they ask him, like, what do you mean salvation? Like, what do you mean be saved? Essentially is what they're saying. And it's like, as a Christian, you must be born again. And obviously they don't get it. And they're like, what? I can't go back into my mother's womb. And he's like, no, you have to restart your life. So I feel like that's what Thiessen is referring to here. And I'll go to where I sense I am reborn. Like, go back to the place where you first confessed your love to Jesus Christ. Of course, that's just my interpretation. And I'll go 'cause in my dreams I can't complain. Aw, in his dreams he can't complain, but in reality he does. Sad fish. My Jefferson Airplane, I'm trapped and I am enclosed. So, a lot of this song has a double meaning that I don't really accurately know. I think it's that way on purpose. But obviously he's talking about a girl who he has fallen an interest for, and he kind of regrets it now? Question mark? Yeah, let's just go with that. So here is Jefferson Airplane, and after this I will dive into Deathbed. Do 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 do. On to important things. At least I think they are. So, now getting into Deathbed, which is my life song at this point in my life. Basically, I have a tattoo of a lyric in this song because of how good it is. So, yeah. And it's probably going to be the last thing that I play tonight because it is pretty lengthy. It's 11 minutes long. So, let's do this. I can smell the death on the okay. Backstory. This guy, this from the perspective of an old man looking back on his life. So the choruses are the present and the verses are his life and what all happened in his life. Okay. Now we'll dive in. I can smell the death on the sheets covering me. I can't believe this is the end. Bum, 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 bum. But this is my deathbed. I lie here alone. If I close my eyes tonight, I know I'll be home. So, heaven. Pretty self-explanatory. And then he goes way back into the past. The year was 1941. I was 8 years old and far, far too young to know that the stories of battles and glory was a tale a kind mother made up for her son. So her mom, his mom, is telling him stories of his dad, who was in the war when he actually left them. Made up for her son, you see. Dad was a traveling preacher, teaching the words of the teacher, but mother had sworn he went off to the war and died there with honor somewhere on a beach there. But he left once to never return, which taught me that I should unlearn whatever I thought a father should be. I abandoned that thought like he abandoned me. I think it's cool how he rhymes preacher and teacher, teaching the words of the teacher, preacher, teacher. And then he goes on after his father left him, which, I mean, is really, really unsettling, especially at the beginning of your life. It just... 8 years old. It's just... yeah. By 47, so this is 1947. By 47, I was 14. I'd acquired a taste for liquor and nicotine. So, beer and cigarettes. I smoked until I threw up, yet I still lit 'em up for 30 more years like a machine. So right there you have it. That one filthy habit is what got me where I am today. So now he's in the present. I can smell the death on the sheets covering me. I can't believe this is the end. I can hear those sad memories still haunting me. So many things I do again. So he's having regret. And a lot of people have regrets on their deathbed, but I dare say not as many as this guy, because he feels like he's so messed up. But this is my deathbed. I lie here alone. If I close my eyes tonight, I know I'll be home. Now, this verse is where it gets real good. I got married on my 21st, 8 months before my wife would give birth. So essentially, they had quote unquote premarital sex, and now they have to marry. It's easier to be sure you love someone when her father inquires with the barrel of a gun. So a shotgun wedding at 21. The union was far from harmonious. No two people could have been more alone than us. The years would go by and she'd love someone else, and I realized I hadn't been loved yet myself. And then from there, it's your typical spiel. Yeah, if life was a highway, I was drunk at the wheel. I was helping the loose ends all fall apart. Yeah, I swear I was destined to fail, and fail from the start. So, he got married. He was basically forced to marry, and then lived a very unhappy marriage, and it doesn't exactly say how long they were married, but it doesn't, I don't think it matters. He obviously feels like if his life was a highway, he'd be drinking at the wheel, which is saying a lot, because basically you're very unstable at that point. I swear I was destined to fail, and fail from the start, which, I mean, that's all this guy's ever known, really. So, moving on, I bowled about 6 times a week. A bottle of Beam kept the memories from me. So if you don't know what Beam is, it's just a type of hard liquor. Shots get you drunk real fast. Our marriage had taken a 7-10 split, and along with my pride, the ex-wife took the kids. So, a 7-10 split. If you don't know what that is in bowling, it's a 7 pin and the 10 pin, and it's the farthest split you can have in bowling, which I think is pretty cool considering that he compares bowling to his marriage. He's like, our marriage had taken a 7-10 split, and along with my pride, the ex-wife took the kids. Now we're in the present. I can smell the death on the sheets covering me. I can't believe this is the end. I can hear those sad memories still haunting me. So many things I'd do again. But this is my deathbed. I lie here alone. If I close my eyes tonight, I know I'll be home. And this is the most important verse after this chorus. Yes. This is where starts the idea for my tattoo. I was so scared of Jesus, but he sought me out. Like the cancer in my lungs, it's killing me now. And I've given up hope on the days I have left, but I cling to the hope of my life in the nest. Then Jesus showed up and said, before we go, I thought that we might reminisce. See, one night in your life, when you turned out the light, you asked for and prayed for my forgiveness. You cried, wolf. And at that part, it completely transitions in sound and dynamic and instrument and lyric. Because when the boy cried wolf, what did he do? He said it, and he thought he meant it the first 3, 4, 5 times. I don't remember how many times he said it, but when he actually meant it, when he actually saw the wolf, no one believed him. And so a lot of the times I feel like I've done that with my faith. I have cried a wolf so many times I've lost count. And basically, I feel like one day is going to come when I actually mean it and no one's going to believe me. And while that's depressing, when I just take it to mean that you can ask to be saved as much times as you want, as far as asking Jesus to be your Savior goes. And this line just sort of wraps it up in this perfect little metaphor analogy that basically says it doesn't matter what people see on the outside, just as long as you are changed on the inside. So you go and you cry wolf. And if you don't know, that's what my tattoo is. You cried wolf. So Jesus comes to him on his deathbed, and basically, Jesus like, hey, let's go back to that time in your life when you asked me to save you. You cried wolf. The tears they soaked your fur, the blood dripped from your fangs. You said, what have I done? So, you commit a sin that's so horrendous that you can't even believe you did it yourself. You love that lamb with every sinful bone, and there you wept alone. Your heart was so contrite. You said, Jesus, please forgive me of my crimes. Sanctify this withered heart of mine. Stay with me until my life is through, and on that day, please take me home with you. So obviously, he feels guilty as ever. The tears soaked from your fur, the blood dripped from your fangs, and you sat there and you couldn't believe yourself what you had just done. And what you have destroyed, you loved with every sinful bone, and there you wept alone, and your heart was so contrite, and it just and by the way, contrite means to feel expressing remorse or patience affected by guilt. So, it's a perfect word. Yeah. I'm just gonna move on. I can smell the death on the sheets covering me. I can't believe this is the end. I can hear you whisper to me, it's time to leave. You'll never be lonely again. But this was my deathbed. I died there alone. When I closed my eyes tonight, you carried me home. And then John Foreman says, I am the way, follow me and take my hand. I am the truth, embrace me and you'll understand. And I am the life, and for me you'll live again. For I am love, I am love, I am love. This has been Josh. That's not Josh. Yeah, I was gonna, I didn't have time to get to that song. So, this has been Josh at the Poems, and you're listening to Tower Radio Conway, and it is Woke Wednesday. And yes, I tried my best to talk about Relient K as much as I could. They are my favorite band, really. And at this point, they've come out with 10 albums. That's a lot. That's too much to worry about. I don't know. But they've technically only come out with 9 because they don't count one of them as an album, like that whole EP mashup thing. But really give them a listen. I would suggest their album which is basically spelled MMHMM. Just listen to that and listen to Forget and Not Slow Down. Those two are yes. And Air for Free is pretty good too. And that album that the song that I just played came off of comes off of 5 years ago, which it's a great song, but I really can't say the same for the album. But anyways, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Tumblr, Twitter, WordPress, and YouTube, all under the name of Lazy Mumbler. Go to Spotify and look up Josh Burns. And please, if you have some sort of art, I will shout you out. It's crucial. Stay alive, friend. So long.